I will call this meeting to order, the meeting of the Transportation Public Works Committee, this day, April 15th, 2014. I'm Councilmember Reich. I'll chair the committee meeting. We are joined by a quorum of committee members, including Councilmember Yang, Councilmember Glidden, and Councilmember Gordon. We will proceed with today's agenda. We have 11 items, 2 public hearings, 1 discussion, the rest are on consent. I'll read through consent items. If any committee member wishes to pull them for discussion, they may do so. Item 3 is the 40th Street East-West Resurfacing Project. It's approve a resolution designating the location of improvements proposed to be made for the project and receive the cost estimate of $560,000 to list the benefited properties and direct the city engineer to prepare a proposed special assessments against the benefited properties and set that public hearing for the June 3rd, 2014. Item 4 is the Bluff Street Trail Agency Agreement. Approve resolution authorizing the execution of an interagency agreement with the Minnesota Department of Transportation for federal participation in the construction engineering of the Bluff Street Trail project. This item will be referred to Ways and Means Committee. Item 5 is the street resurfacing special assessment correction. Approve resolution canceling a street resurfacing special assessment levied on the property located at 5704 Harriet Avenue South and reinstate a street resurfacing assessment on the property located at 5614 Garfield Avenue South due to the prepayment of the special assessment being credited to an incorrect parcel. Item 6 is the Central Corridor LRT project. Authorize execution of a subordinate funding agreement 23, SFA 23, with the Metropolitan Council for the replacement of lighting service cabinets in the Central Corridor LRT West Bank area. This also will be referred to Ways and Means. Item 7 is authorize the increase of contract with Kimley Horn and Associates for $110,360 for a revised contract total of $859,850 and extend the contract termination date from May 31st to August 31st, 2014 due to a scope and schedule change involved in the project. No additional appropriation is required. Item 8 is to accept the low bid of AM Construction Incorporated for an estimated expenditure of $255,300 to complete the exterior masonry stabilization project phase 3 on the water treatment and distribution division. This will be referred to Ways and Means. Item 9 was referred by City Council, and that is the Special Service District subject matter of the following ordinance amending Title 17 of the Minneapolis Code of Ordinances relating to streets and sidewalks, adding a new Chapter 532 relating to the establishment of the 54th Avenue Lindale Special Service District, and adding new Chapter 534 relating to the reestablishment of the West Broadway Improvement Special Service District. Requested action, set a public hearing to be held on April 29th, 2014. And item 10. I don't see an item 10. There will be no item 10. So those are the consent items. Any questions, anything wish to be pulled? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the consent items as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Dissenting nay. They carry. We'll now move into the public hearing. The first public hearing regards the Lowry Hill East Area Street Resurfacing Project. Director Gaki.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Mike Kennedy will make this presentation.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Mike Kennedy, Director of Transportation Maintenance and Repair for Minneapolis Public Works. We're here before you today regarding the Lowry Hill East Area public hearing. On March 7th, 2014, the City Council designated the location, streets, and improvements proposed to be made in this project neighborhood as enumerated on the map that I have in the overhead. The cost estimate for this project is $717,368 and is financed by net debt bonds and special assessments for the purposes of this project. The streets resurfacing would be a mill and overlay of plant mix asphalt performed by city crews in the summer of 2014. The special assessments that will be imposed are based on uniform assessment rates for 2014 of 60 cents per square foot for non-residential properties, 20 cents per square foot per residential properties. On April 9th, a public hearing, a neighborhood pre-public hearing was held. And there are 4 people that signed in. Most of the people there seem to be in favor of the project of getting new streets or new street surfaces. Therefore, our recommendation today is to pass a resolution ordering the city engineer to proceed and do the work and adopt special assessments in the amount of $666,545.86 for the Lowry Hill East project, and pass a resolution requesting the Board of Estimate Taxation to issue and sell assessment bonds in the amount of $666,550 for this project.
Thank you. Does the committee have any questions regarding this presentation? Seeing none, I will open the public hearing. Did anyone sign in? No one signed in. Does anyone wish to speak? Does anyone wish to speak? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and move approval as stated by the presenter. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Dissenting nay, that carries. We'll move to the second public hearing, which regards the St. Anthony Parkway Bridge over the Burlington Northern Santa Fe North Town Yard Project, California Street Northeast, Main Street Northeast construction and reconstruction.
Mr. Chair, Ole Mersinger will be making this presentation. Ole is the project engineer for the St. Anthony Bridge project.
Good morning.
Morning. If they're able to zoom out in the back a little bit, we've got it. Looks a little better here. Good morning, Mr. Chair, committee members. Ole Mersinger, Transportation Planning Engineering. The item is the public hearing for the roadway work associated with the St. Anthony Parkway Bridge project, and it consists of California Street from St. Anthony Parkway to approximately 640 feet north of St. Anthony Parkway, and California Street between 31st Street and St. Anthony Parkway. There's a total of 9 different parcels to be assessed as part of this roadway improvement projects, and 4 distinct different property owners. The project estimated cost is $1.3 million, and the full assessment amount is $237,653. We've met with all the different property owners out here as part of the project development and have discussed the assessments with them, with the exception of 1 parcel, which is currently for sale at 31st and St. Anthony Parkway. The California Street's an oil dirt roadway that would be improved with pavement and a sidewalk, and California Street is an MSA roadway that's will be reconstructed in its entirety as well. And with that, if there are any questions?
Any questions for the presenter? Seeing none, I will open the public hearing. We do have Park Board President Liz Walensky has signed in and may approach us and make comment.
Good morning, Chair Reich and council members. My name is Liz Walensky. I live at 3519 2nd Street Northeast. I'm here today with a variety of hats on my head, not only as Park Board President, but also a staff for the Columbia Park Neighborhood Association and someone who can see the bridge from my front steps. This project has gone through quite a lot of review over a number of years. In fact, I appointed the people who were on the committee back before I was a Park Board Commissioner that were representing the neighborhood. Our only question here today on all 3 hats is the Main Street reconstruction. They have purchased enough property to either put in a sidewalk or boulevard trees. And as a Park Board Commissioner, I'm not happy with the fact that we're going to lose that shade tree canopy. As a neighborhood member, I'm thrilled to death we're going to get the sidewalk connection. What I would really hope and respectfully ask of the committee today is that you do something so that we can have not only the sidewalk but also the shade trees. And if that would be at some point reducing the assessment so that the property owner could put in the shade trees, we'd appreciate that. having a great tree canopy in Minneapolis, but also having that pedestrian accessibility from our little closed-off neighborhood that is in that portion surrounded by the railroad yard and University Avenue Northeast, and that one I lovingly refer to as the East German Wall that goes along 37th Avenue that separates us from Anoka County and the city of Columbia Heights. We're kind of trapped up there. And so while we're going to be trapped there for the however long this takes to construct, we'd also like, when we're done, to have that amenity. I know the sidewalk coming down from the park is not complete as well, and as a park board commissioner, I'd be happy to push that through so we can make those connections. But I'd really like that Main Street piece to have the sidewalks and the trees. So if there's anything you can do to make that happen, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Does staff maybe have any comment regarding our ability to address the tree issue?
Mr. Chair, committee members, there in the plans currently, there is trees scheduled to go back in on the west side of the realigned Main Street. The Main Street is being realigned to accommodate current roadway standards that we have to meet according to the project at the intersection of St. Anthony and Main Street.
So trees are in the works.
There's trees planned to be replanted or planted as part of the project.
Very good. Oh, the east side? I'm getting prompted. And regarding the east side?
I believe there may be room for a couple trees. There is some grade issues there, Mr. Chair. It has to do with there's a retaining wall that we're putting in along there, so we have to evaluate whether it makes sense with the retaining wall and the sidewalk. So.
Okay, so that's work to be done, and we'll definitely address the east side and the west side to the extent that that's possible.
Yes.
Okay. Any further testimony? Any further testimony? See none, I will close the public hearing and move the item as presented with a staff direction to continue to look at the tree issue for both sides per the request of the neighborhood. Any further discussion? See none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Dissenting nay. That carries. Okay, now we move on to our discussion item. This was referred back from the City Council to the committee. It regards the Johnson Street Northeast, 10th and 11th Avenue Southeast Street resurfacing project. Director Kaki.
Mr. Chair, Mike Kennedy will speak to this issue.
Morning again, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. We're here before you today to cancel the Johnson Northeast and 10th and 11th Avenue Southeast project. On April 11th, the City Council referred this project back to committee. We were here before you on April 1st with the public hearing, and previous to that, on February 21st, the council designated the location, streets, and improvements proposed to be made. Since that time, since the public hearing, we have discovered that we had an error in our records as far as the ownership and jurisdiction of those streets. They are indeed MnDOT-owned roads, and they are the responsibility of MnDOT for their upkeep and preservation and reconstruction. We do take care of them. We patch the streets under the road maintenance agreement that we have with the state, where they pay us to do that, but anything over and above that is their responsibility. So it would not be appropriate for us to perform this level of work on them without they're paying for it or them doing it themselves. What we will do is we are very aware that it needs some work, and we typically will submit requests to them for overlays on their roads and their jurisdiction in the city, and we will do that. We've been successful in getting work done that way. Typically, we do not assess for work that either the county or the state does to the abutting property owners. We have not been doing that in the past. So we would not be doing that if they do come forward and do the work. So our recommendation today is to cancel this particular project, and we will refer it to MnDOT.
Very good. Councilmember Yang?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Two questions. First one is, how did we discover the mistake?
Mr. Chair, Councilmember Yang, I'll take this one. We did not, in our records, our pavement management records, there was an error in the records showed that they were locally owned streets. I signed the TAPS letter. However, I was aware in the back of my mind that we do take care of those streets under our road maintenance agreement. It wasn't until I saw the objection letter, one of the objection letters talking about a property owner who was told that they would never have access to the MnDOT, to 35W there. I started thinking about it, and even I was here before you at the public hearing, and the check engine light in my head was on, but I wasn't paying attention to it. As I walked out of here and we were talking, it started blinking, and I figured it out. I went, wait a minute, why are we doing this? We shouldn't be overlaying these any more than we would go out and overlay Hiawatha or Olson Highway. So we went back, verified the records with MnDOT and against our records, and indeed it did show that it is their property, and so that's why we're here today to cancel this.
Okay. Mr. Kennedy, thank you for that explanation. My second question is, now that this project is canceled, is there a project from next year that's going to be pulled into this year, or how are we going to do that?
Mr. Chair, Councilmember Yang, we could look at that. This is a relatively small one, but we could look at something like that and try to advance one. There's a lot of process to do that, but we'd be happy to take a look and see if we can advance something.
Okay. Well, you know which one I'd suggest. Thank you.
Any further questions? Any further questions? I guess this is a good example that the public review process is important and has value, and is not just a gratuitous exercise. So with that, I believe we just receive and file? No? Oh, cancel the project. Okay. So I will move passage resolution ordering the work not to proceed, and we will cancel the project and not do any of the other actions that had previously been required. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, I will also say that we will mail out notices to all the people who had been noticed about the assessments for the project and let them know that this is canceled.
Okay, very good. Councilmember Gordon.
Just to be clear, that also includes rescinding the resolution that we passed a while ago,
Yeah, we'll
as listed on the agenda.
yeah, we'll be canceling all previous actions related to this project. With this motion before us, all in favor say aye. Dissenting nay. That has happened. With that, we've completed the agenda and are adjourned.